Okay. So this program, many people will watch it later because I gave this link very late. And this program is for Sri Ramanavami, and it is supposed to be Rama's birthday. So Rama is a very important figure in the Indian society and also in Indian philosophy, because in India there are two epics, very big epics. Epic means it's a very big poetry. So there are two biggest poetries in India. One is called Mahabharata and the other one is called Ramayana. And Ramayana is written before Mahabharata, and the Ramayana and Mahabharata, these two, they incorporate a lot of Indian philosophy. Indian philosophy is incorporated in them as if it is a part of their life. So in Mahabharata, the main character in Mahabharata is Lord Krishna, and in Ramayana, the main character is Rama. Now, Rama and Krishna, both of them, they are considered incarnations of Lord Vishnu, who is the primal god. So, the in Indian philosophy, the philosophy starts with Vedas, where all the gods, they are without form; they are only forms of energies. But then, when the those same gods, some of them, they were given form so that people can worship them. So the main gods which came out were Vishnu, who is supposed to maintain the world, then Brahma, who creates that world, and Shiva, who destroys the world. Destroy means he converts that existence of the world into the some other being, that where some, like the tree becomes wood and the wood becomes ashes. So this conversion of wood disappearing is done by the power called Shiva. So the Shiva, Vishnu, and uh, Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma, the three gods, they actually go together, but they are together in a form of Dattatreya. But anyway, these three gods are very important, and out of these, the Brahma is not worshipped because of some reason, which I don't want to cover now. But the Brahma is not worshipped, though the Brahma created the world. There is some problem, and the Vishnu and Shiva, they are considered the most worshipped deities in India. So there were two sects in India in the past called Shaivite. They are followers of Shiva, and Shiva is all about yoga, etc. And he behaves like yogi, like he has matted locks, and he is meditating all the time. Whereas Vishnu is like all prosperous. You know, he's like the boss of the world, and he's God, and he can give you anything, and he takes care of the devotees. So these two gods and the Vishnu devotees are called Vaishnavites. Anyway, there are so far 10 or something incarnations of Vishnu, and the last one is Gautam Buddha, was the incarnation of Vishnu. Before that was Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna is a incarnation which is considered complete. That means that Lord Krishna has all the powers of God right from the birth. So Lord Krishna doesn't do any yoga practice, etc. He has all the powers of the God right from the birth, and his whole life is without any mistake. So you can see that he's totally knowledgeable, and he gives Bhagavad Gita, which is a summary of Upanishad. Now, in case of Rama, Rama is a human incarnation of Vishnu after before Krishna. So in Rama's life, there is very little um, display of powers. Some powers are there, no doubt, because he is the incarnation. But he has led a human life. So in Rama's life, he was born as a prince to Dasharath, and he leads a life in such a way that uh, his qualities are called very high level qualities for a human being. That's why he's called Purushottam, means the best human being. Now, there are some things in Rama's life also which some people don't like, including me. So, for example, he left his wife at one point. So, that portion I do not like. But the fact is that Rama was one of the best kings. So, he treated his citizen with total devotion, dedication, and love, and also his all other qualities throughout the life, like humility and uh, studiousness, and his dedication to his studies, and also his behavior in the general life. All these are so great that Rama is worshipped um, throughout the India. Now, the Ramayana contains Rama's life, and Mahabharat contains Krishna's life and also other things. So, Mahabharat and Ramayana, they are considered as spiritual books in terms of philosophy, and they give knowledge of how to live in the life, as well as they are historical documents. So they are called Ityas, they are stories called Puran, and they are also a uh, an epic which tells you how to behave. So that's called Dharma Shastra. So that's why it is Ityas, Puran, and Dharma all together. Now Rama's life is very very interesting, and the story is very good. You can watch the movie Ramayana on the YouTube. It will be probably 30-40 hours movie done by one person. I think his name was Ganga Sagar or something. But it is done very well, and you will enjoy that movie. But it definitely gives you. In addition to that, Ramayana is an extremely beautiful poetry. So the first verse of the Ramayana itself says that this poetry is immortal. So it clearly says there that this poetry will stay as long as the moon and the sun exist. So I don't remember that verse now, but it clearly says that. And it also tells how that poetry came about. How that, so that is very, very interesting. Then Mahabharata is a very, very big epic. It contains so many chapters, and so many types of things are happening in Mahabharata. So anyway, this is the base, like a basis of Rama. Now, what I want to tell you today is, as a part of the yoga, is that see in the yoga field, the symbol Om is considered very very important symbol, and that Om is also taken up by many other religions, etc. The Om symbol first appears in Upanishad and not in Vedic mantras. Like many people think that Om comes from Vedas. Om does not come from Vedas. Om comes in the philosophical text of India called Upanishad, and then later it was added to Vedas also, just because it is so powerful. So Om is a very important symbol for yoga people, and in even Patanjali there is one sutra about yoga and the Om, and Patanjali tells that Om represents the God. That means if you want to do the Ishwara Pranidhan, you should sing Om. That's what Patanjali says. Now Om is basically a sound, but it is written in one form like that you already know that how it is written. So it is a symbol as well as sound, but it is mainly a sound, and it can be sung in many ways, and there are many many effects, physical and mental and spiritual, of this Om singing. However, Om is basically a kind of formless. It is kind of formless, because even if there is a form, that form is just a symbol, and it is not a human form. Now, what I want to tell you is that Rama is another name, and in India, that Rama is chanted just like Om, and Rama has one. The meaning of Rama is a person, who pleases you. So Rama means to please, and Rama means a person who pleases the citizen. That means the Rama is a uh, entity or a person who gives you bliss. And you can clearly see that if you sing Rama, 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 then you will start feeling blissful, just like Om. Now, if you are a devotee of Rama, it is very useful because you will remember all the good qualities of Rama while singing. At the same time, you will get the benefit of Rama's sound, and also you will get the chanting, whatever other benefits of chanting. So this Rama Rama chanting is as powerful as Om, and it is easier because you can connect to a human form. And in terms of very subtle knowledge, there is one bija mantra called Ram. That Ram bija mantram. So there are some bija mantras like Yam, Ram, Lam, Vam, Sham. You see these bija mantras on the chakra chart in the different yoga schools. You'll see a chakra chart, and it has got Yam, Lam, Vam, Ram like that. And Ram is the bija mantra of which is a part of the Rama. So these are the some basic uh, ideas I wanted to give you today, because then if you are interested, you can study them further. Now the Rama, just to tell you again, that Rama is a sound and also the name of Rama, whose life has lot of great qualities. So you can remember the form of Rama, the stories of Rama, and the sound and chanting all goes together. And so therefore today I'm going to show you this picture which is drawn by my friend Sriram Bokil. So he is a commercial artist, but he's not very rich. He needs income, but if you want to do some work from him, you can contact me or him. I put his name on the Facebook. He's excellent artist. He has done my father's picture also, which you can see in the background. I'll show you. See, this picture is also drawn by him. So, and my Adhiyoga book cover is also done by him. So he does it for a very low cost. So if you are interested, you can contact me. And this is the watercolor of Rama which he has done. And what we have done is we have put a wooden lamination on it. So it is in my yoga school. I will put this picture now, and this is like inauguration of his picture. So it is wonderful picture. And now we will. I want to show you some chanting related to Rama. There is lots and lots and lots about Rama. There is the Ramayana, which was written, original Ramayana is in Sanskrit language, written by Valmiki. And that verse I told you that it will stay as long as moon and sun are there. And anyway, it is already probably 5,000 years, according to some people. This book is studied in India. So in India, you can study the Upanishads, etc. But some people think that if you just study Ramayana and Mahabharata, then you will get the gist of all the Indian philosophy in a story form. So once you read it, you will get a story form. And this Ramayana and Mahabharata, they have affected the Indian community in very deep manner. For example, see this concept of one wife, that one should have only one wife. This concept comes from Rama's life, that Rama, he is king. So kings are allowed to have many wives. Rama's father had 3 wives, I think. So the having multiple wives was very common that time for the kings. So Rama has only one wife, and even after that, he never looks at any other woman, etc. And then when he gives up Sita, he leads a very secluded life, while as a secluded family life, and he does the protection of his people. So he does the duty of king, but he doesn't marry again, and so he was dedicated to his wife, etc. So this concept of one wife comes from Ramayana, I think. Anyway, that concept is there in many countries now. So now I will tell you one more thing, that there are so many prayers etc. related to Ramayana. The Ramayana itself is translated in many languages, and probably it may be in Arabic language also. So there is one prayer called Rama Raksha, and this prayer has become very famous because this prayer, in that prayer, the sage Buddha Kaushik, he was one of the sages who does like meditation, etc. And one day he gets a dream, and in that dream, Lord Shiva is telling his wife Parvati this prayer. So this Buddha Kaushikar sage, when he wakes up, he immediately writes down that prayer. So this idea of memorization during the dream and seeing the dream, etc., these are all yogic ideas that the yogic people who do a serious practice of meditation, they will be witnessing this kind of dreams, and their memory is also very sharp, that when they wake up they will remember that dream. And so he wrote down this whole prayer, and this prayer has become world famous now. Many people sing that prayer every day, and in Indian families they teach that prayer to children. The prayer itself is very sweet, and it has got so many benefits of sound, meaning, philosophy. All these go together in that one prayer. So I think I will sing that prayer now. I will try to sing it little fast. Generally I sing it slow, and after that I will offer some flowers to this Rama picture. So that is what I want to say about Ramanavami, which is the birthday of Rama. So the 9 days are celebrated from Gudi Padwa, which is the beginning of Indian year. And first 9 days people worship Rama, and some of the Rama devotees do fasting, total fasting for 9 days. And today they celebrate the Rama's birthday. So today I went to one interesting festival celebration of Rama's, which I will post on the YouTube tonight. So you will enjoy that, I'm sure. That was done very well. So do you want to say anything, Raju?
Sir, uh, s- no, sir, no, sir. Uh, thanks, sir.
See, this the reason I'm holding this function is that many yoga people, especially out of India, they want to know. But
Yeah, yeah,
even Indian people sometimes do not know these things. So
yes, sir.
whatever I know, I'm trying to put it so that that video can be used later by on my website. They can watch that video and get some idea, or
Yes,
they
sir.
can study further if they want to study. Like suppose they want to study yoga and Ramayan together,
Yes,
so they can
yes,
do a PhD in this topic, yoga and Ramayan. So they will get Ramayan, and also they will come to know what are the different yoga things in Ramayan. So that's why I'm trying to give you these short functions like this, half an hour like that. So people can get some ideas and they can do further studies if they want. All right. So now what I will do is I will first maybe offer some flowers to this Rama picture, and then I will sing that prayer called Rama Raksha. I'm sure you'll like it.
yes,
So this flower is called Jhendu in Marathi language, or Jandu in Hindi, but I think it may be available in USA. These flowers, they last for a long time. So now I am offering these flowers at the feet of Rama, and this is one melon which comes in the um, in summer season. So these and watermelon, they are generally used as prasad or the blessed food for the Ramanavami day. So I'm putting that here. So if you want to eat it, you have to come here. Okay, so now I will sing that prayer so you can enjoy it.
Yes, sir.
So you can hear that sound, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can hear the
Yes, sir.
tandoor sound.
Yes, sir. Clear,
So
clear, clear.
sing that prayer.
Yes, sir.
Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ramachandraya Namaha. Asya Shri Rama Raksha Stotra Mantrasya Kaushika Rishi Shri Sita Ramachandra Devata Anushtup Chandas Sita Shakti Srimad Hanuman Kilakam Shri Ramachandra Prityarthe Shri Rama Raksha Stotra Mantra Jape Vinyoga Achathanam Dhayedajanupavum Dasharadhanusham Baddhapadmasanastam Pitam Vaso Vasanam Navakamaladalasvaradhinetram Prasannam Vamankarundasita Mukakamalabhilallocanam Neeradavam Nanalankarajiptam Dadatmurujatamandanam Ramachandram Charitam Raghunathasya Shatakoti Pravistaram Ekaikamakaram Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam Atva Nilo Palashyamam Ramam Rajivalocanam Janaki Lakshmanopetam Jatamukutamanditam Sasidunadhanurbaణపాణిం Naktam Charantakam Swaleelaya Jagatratum Avirbhutamajam Vibhum Amaraksham Patet Prajnam Papagnim Sarvakamadam Shiro me Raghava Patu Alam Dasharathatmaja Kausalyeyo Trishau Patu Vishwamitra Priyashruti Pranam Patu Makhatrata Mukham Saumitrivatsalah Jivham Vidyanidhi Patu Kantham Bharatavanditah Skandhau Divyayudha Padu Bhujau Bhagnesha Karmukah Karau Sitapadi Padu Hridayam जामदग्न्यजित् मध्यं पादु खरध्वंसी नाभिं जाम्बवदाश्रयः सुग्रीवेशः कटी पातु सखिनी हनुमत्प्रभु गुरुरभूत्तमः पातु रक्षः कुलविनाशकृत् जानुनी सेतुकृत् पातु जङ्घे दशमुखान्तकः पादौ विभीषणश्रीदः पातु पातु रामोऽखिलं वपुः एतां रामबलोपेतां रक्षां यः सुकृती पठेत् सचिरायुः सुखी पुत्री विजयी विनयी भवेत् पातालभूतलव्योमचारिणः छद्मचारिणः न द्रष्टुमपि शक्तास्ते रक्षितं रामनामभिः रामेति रामभद्रेति रामचन्द्रेति वा स्मरन् नरो न लिप्यते पापैर्मुक्तिं मुक्तिं च विन्दति जगच्चैत्रैकमन्त्रेण रामनाम्नाभिरक्षितम् यः कण्ठे धारयेत् तस्य स्वरस्थाः सर्वसिद्धयः वज्रपैञ्जरनामेदम् रामकवचं स्मरेत् अव्याहताज्ञः सर्वत्र लभते जयमङ्गलम् आदिष्टवान् यथा स्वप्ने राम रक्षामि मां हरः तथा लिखितवान् प्रातः प्रबुद्धो बुधकौशिकः आरामः कल्पवृक्षाणां विरामः सकलापदाम् अभिरामस्त्रिलोकानां रामः श्रीमान् सनः प्रभुः करुणौ रूपसम्पन्नौ सुकुमारौ महाबलौ पुण्डरीकविशालाक्षौ क्षीरकृष्णाजिनाम्बरौ फलमूलाशिनौ दान्तौ तापसौ ब्रह्मचारिणौ पुत्रौ दशरथस्यैतौ धातरौ रामलक्ष्मणौ शरण्यौ सर्वसत्त्वानां श्रेष्ठौ सर्वधनुष्मदां रक्षः कुलनिहन्तारौ त्रायेतां नो रघूत्तमौ आत्तसज्जधनुषा विशुश्रुषौ अक्षयाशुभनिशङ्गसङ्गिनौ रक्षणाय मम रामलक्ष्मणौ अग्रतः पथि सदैव गच्छताम् सन्नद्धः कवची खड्गी चापबाणधरो युवा गच्छन् मनोरथोऽस्माकं रामः पातु स लक्ष्मणः रामो दाशरथि शूरो लक्ष्मणानुचरो बली काकुत्स्थः पुरुषः पूर्णः कौसल्येयो रघुत्तमः वेदान्तवेद्यो यज्ञेशः पुराणपुरुषोत्तमः जानकी वल्लभः श्रीमान् अप्रमेय पराक्रमः इत्येतानि जपन् नित्यम् मद्भक्तश्रद्धयान्वितः अश्वमेधादिकं पुण्यं सम्प्राप्नोति न संशयः रामं दूर्वादलश्यामं पद्माक्षं पीतवाससं स्तुवन्ति नामपि रदिव्यैर्न ते संसारिणो नराः रामं लक्ष्मणपूर्वजं रघुवरं सीतापतिं सुन्दरम् काकुत्स्थं करुणार्णवं गुणनिधिं विप्रप्रियं धार्मिकम् राजेन्द्रं सत्यसन्धं दशरथतनयं श्यामलं शान्तमूर्तिं वन्दे लोकाभिरामं रघुकुलतिलकं राघवं रावणारिम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः श्रीराम राम रघुनन्दन राम राम श्रीराम राम भरताग्रज राम राम श्रीराम राम रणकर्कश राम राम श्रीराम राम शरणं भव राम राम श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ मनसा स्मरामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ वचसा गृह्णामि रामचन्द्र चरणौ शिरसा नमामि रामचन्द्र चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता रामो मत्पिता रामचन्द्रः स्वामी रामो मत्सखा रामचन्द्रः सर्वस्वं मे रामचन्द्रो दयालुः नान्यं जाने नैव जाने न जाने दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे तु जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम् लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरं तं रामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखाम् वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् आपदामपहर्तारम् दातारं सर्वसम्पदाम् लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् भर्जनं भवबीजानाम् अर्जनं सुखसम्पदाम् तर्जनं यमदूतानां राम रामेति गर्जनम् रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभियता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम् रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे ओ राम मामुद्धर राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्रीविरचितम् राम रक्षा स्तोत्रम् सम्पूर्णम् श्री सीतारामचन्द्रार्पणम् शुभं भवतु शुभं भवतु शुभं भवतु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति Okay, so what I want to tell you is that this prayer is not only sweet, but if you know the meaning of that prayer, there are many qualities and many yoga practice, including up to going to the samadhi state. All these are mentioned in one small prayer. Plus, it is very beautiful to sing, and it has various words which, if you sing correctly, your pronunciation will become very good. That means it is a mental and speech exercise also. So this it also has focusing on various body parts. So many things are related to yoga are there in that prayer. So that prayer was my third project actually. When I started my yoga school, I did write the meaning, but I never recorded it. So maybe I should take up that project one day. But on YouTube, you'll find many different chantings and meanings of it, and some of them are instructional chanting. So you should go there and try to enjoy the prayer called Rama Raksha Stotra. I also want to tell you that one very interesting event that I had one student in Pune who was my first yoga student in Pune after I came from US, and she had lost her speech, and the last verse of this prayer called Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. That prayer, that only that one line or two lines I recorded, and she listened to that audio for while she was cooking, and one day her speech came back just by listening to that prayer, because in the childhood she had sung that prayer. So when she listened to it, one day automatically she started singing those two lines and her speech came back. So that is a very interesting observation I made. So it also has therapeutic benefits for sure, and many other stories about Rama Raksha there. So anyway, now I will conclude this program with one mantra. So you have to listen to my speech on mantras. So out of all the different chantings, one of them is called Maha Mantra. So Maha Mantra is a mantra which is formulated by a God realized saint. So it is not coming from Vedas, but it is formulated by a saint, and it has a power of that saint behind that mantra. I do not know who created this mantra, but this mantra is very famous, and it is called Trayo Dashakshari, means there are 13 letters in that prayer. So in that mantra, so the mantra is Shri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. So this mantra can be sung in many different tunes. So I will just conclude this program with this mantra, and automatically the program will end. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai 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 Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Ram.